almost to get to that point. And one day, and the whole community started knowing about it. It was a small town, so the information went wild. And anyway, one of my girlfriends, I'll never forget this. You'll love this. I was in my house attempting to work. I was selling solar. My solar company was very nice and understanding. I was in the dark selling solar, trying to write something. I couldn't drive to save my soul. I was a danger to myself. And then this friend zooms up my driveway, and she's not a zoomer. That's not what she would normally do. She zoomed up. She's like, Darlene, you have to come see this. Get in my car right now. I went, okay. So she took me to her house, and she was about to go on what I had learned. Now, of course, we all know about it, a new thing called Zoom. And there was a woman, which it was the lady that turned her on to the Kangen machine. Marilee is her name. And Marilee was on the Zoom, and she was talking to us. Heather had a machine and in her house, and so she said, she gave me the 8.5. She said, because you're so sick, don't drink this fast. Just sip it, okay? And so Marilee is communicating with us. We're talking, and I took a sip. I will never forget this feeling as long as I live. I took a sip of 8.5, and it was like someone squirted menthol into my brain. It was like Crest toothpaste was squished in there and went exactly where the worms were. It went here. My eye cleared up with the 8.5. It went here, and my ear cleared up, just like that. Just with about 2 to 3 ounces of 8.5. And because of the microclustering of the water, it was so easy to drink. So I was drinking more, and they kept saying, Darlene, don't drink too much. It's going to make you so sick. It's going to cost too much for cleansing. And I drank too much. But it was so good, and I could tell it immediately. And so I went home. I got sick for a day. Heather said, okay, let's just start a little bit of 8.5, a little bit of, clean water. Let's just do that, and just step by step. And so step by step, that's what I did. Slowly but surely, to get to the point that I could just drink 8.5, and she was bringing it to me all the time. So I was to the 8.5, and life started changing dramatically, and I couldn't believe it. I mean, I could actually have the TV on. I could actually talk in full sentences. I couldn't quite drive, but I was getting there. So within 3 months. Okay, she suggested we go to the convention in Vegas. I went, there is no way I can get on a plane without this water. There's no way I can do that. And there's no way I can go, because Leslie was renting a house, and for all of her folks that she'd signed up, her downline. And I can't be around that many people. That's the other thing. The brain injury causes that. So I can't be around that many people, that many lights, that much activity. And she said, look, we'll get there. And I didn't know at that time you could travel with the water. Now I travel, I won't go anywhere with the water. That's just nowhere.
We all water snobs now.
No, there's absolutely no way.
Well, it's a miracle
Yes.
water.
Yeah. So anyway, we went to the convention, and by the time I got there, I was a mess. I couldn't remember anything. I could hardly talk. I could not articulate well, any of that. And I said, Heather, we can't stay in this house. There's going to be too many people, and it's too much noise and too many lights. And, that's what happens with a brain injury. It's too much. She said, just wait in the bedroom until the machine gets hooked up before you make a decision. She said, but if you don't, we'll move to a hotel. I said, okay. So Marilee came, and she hooked up the machine, and I stood at that counter, and I really don't know how much. I must have consumed over a gallon or more, and I was like, okay, I'm fine. It was just amazing. At the convention with 3,000 people, or however many there were, I know I was the person that got up the most to get water, because we were sitting right next to the water thing.
Yeah, they have water fountains for everybody.
Yeah, anyway. So that's why I'm a water junkie, and that's why I love Kangen water, and that's why I pounced on them when I walked up, because I'm moving and my machine is unhooked.
Oh my goodness.
And it will be unhooked for a few days, so I had to come here and get
Come
water.
here and get here. Well, listen. So, thank you so much for sharing, first of all. But I want to know, where are you today? Like your health, you're completely well. How long did it take you exactly to get to where you are today? Because obviously you drove yourself here, so you can
Right,
drive now.
right.
You can. So, do you
Right.
still have any symptoms left, or if you don't drink the water, let's say, if you're without it, or you completely healed? Like, how is your body coping with that?
Well, there's several answers to that. Do I still have brain injury symptoms? Yes, I do. I do have those. I mean, the neurologist told me that I have a brain injury, obviously, and that with work, I could get better. And you know what work meant? What she meant? What she said with work? Do puzzles. I went, no, that's not going to be enough to get me better. I still have problems with sensitivity to light, but this is 10 years ago now. But not as bad, okay? I still have problems sometimes with articulation, but not as bad. I have anxiety. I used to be a sales trainer and sales director, and I used to be able to stand in front of hundreds of people with being excited without getting nervous. Now I get anxiety. Other than that, no. I can function in society. I can work. I can do all of that sort of thing.
It's wonderful.
Yeah, and
My
it's
goodness.
truly, really, and anyone listening, it's the water. It's a totally.
What a blessing.
It is. My brother did not, but a lot of people don't believe